Well, folks, this year's crap storm has officially begun. First thing I'm going to say is I'm just starting this video and I already know it's going to be late. And it's not late because of the reasons I warned in the last video. There's actually something that happened that kind of set me back and will very much likely destroy me financially. But I'll get into that later in the video where it's relevant. So for now, those of you who are new to my channel and don't know what my medical history or habits or whatever generally affect me, then I'll explain what I mean by crap storm. So generally mid-June, mid-July, in that area, my illness just kind of eases off, I guess you could say, and it's what they call a remission period. It's fibromyalgia has remission periods where everything just kind of seems to go away and you feel generally normal for a while. Not all my problems go away. There's a whole host of problems that come with this illness, but not all of them go away. But I generally have a little more energy and a little less pain, and basically it allows me to enjoy my favorite season, which is summer, and not affect me the way that it normally does for the rest of the year. And then around the end of September to mid-November, or October, I mean, everything just kind of comes crashing back down on me all at once, and generally worse than it was when it left in the beginning of summer. So that's starting to happen now. It's not instant this year, thankfully. It is a gradual thing, which I'm happy for. But with that, combining that with summer ending and the prospect of winter on its way, I tend to get depressed. I'm assuming that's why. I always get depressed this time of year. That's my assumption. It's because of all this. But one thing that I'm really not in control of, not that I can control those anyways, but the other thing that happens is things start going wrong. And this year has not been an exception, obviously, because I've had so much just in the last few days that are really affecting my ability to do things, to say the least. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get into my first welding job. I decided to start with the basket mount because I do have a new one coming. If I ever get the tires, they're coming with the tires, or it's coming with the tires. So I figured I'll practice on this. If I mess it up, it's no big deal. So I got everything set up. The welder itself and all the parts and tools and everything that I'm going to need are all set up. And I got to take the helmet out of the package, and the package is really tough. I don't need to go into detail, but it took me a while to get it out of the package. So I get it all set up, and it's got a protective plastic film over the lens, and it's got writing on it I never paid attention to. It's removed before use or whatever, so I just figured that's what it said. And as I was taking it off, I noticed it said visor is solar powered, needs to be charged for at least an hour before first use. So here I am, all anxious to get things going, all ready to go, and now I gotta wait at least another hour. So I took the visor out, stuck it on top of Zach's car, let it soak up. Well, there's no sun today, but let it soak up the light coming through. Well, I just kind of take a break and hang out and chill out and watch videos on my phone. So got all that done. And I wasn't sure how the light from the welding was going to affect my camera, so I used one of my older cameras, my fake SJCAM. So if anything happens to it, no big deal, because I don't really use it anyways. The only time I really use it is if I have multiple cameras on the monster at one time. So I decided to use it, and something happened. The first two files were corrupted. they existed, they were the right length, they were the right megabytes, but they just wouldn't play. And I have a few programs that I used to try to recover these. Nothing worked. They wouldn't even indicate that there was a problem with the files. So I went searching online for something new, and I found one. There's actually a couple of them. They took hours and hours and hours to do these two files, and of course after the files are fixed, I'd go to recover them and I find out I have to pay. Why can't programs say that ahead of time? You know, I wasted hours and hours on these stupid files trying to get them to work, and then I find out in order to recover them I have to pay for them, so all that time was wasted. One of them was, oh my, yeah, it started with an I. I don't remember. And the other one, that one didn't work at all. And the other one was Stellar Phoenix, I think, data recovery. It worked. Once the files are done, it gives you a preview, and the preview worked. But when I went to actually save the recovered file, that's when I found out it was going to cost me like $40 or something for each file. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So I considered actually purchasing the program, but it's only a 1-year license, so I can only use it for 1 year and then I have to pay again. That's bogus. So it really ticks me off. And of course these programs always say free download, right? Well, of course it's free to download them. So again, kind of hook you in with that. So basically the first video I have where I was getting everything ready to go before I discovered the helmet needed to be charged, that file is gone, and the file of me actually welding I lost as well. So I wasn't impressed with that. And the rest of the files after that I can't use because there's a very, very loud hum in the video, and I'm not sure if it's the camera itself or if it's because the power cord runs past the halogen light that I'm using, or if it's the light itself is causing interference, or because it's plugged into the same outlet as the welder. I don't know. Like maybe a combination of all of them. So none of them really worked, but I do have the video after I welded to show you what it looks like when it was done. So that's the beginning. So here's the humming. It's actually not too bad in this one. The next file is 10 times as loud, and of course that's the one where I actually talked to the camera, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to use that, and I tried to remember everything that I said because there's some important things in there that I wanted to say and ask. So I got thinking, well, with my scanner recordings, if I forget to take it off the base, I get a hum in it as well. And the audio program that I use, WavePad, I don't mind endorsing it because it works quite well. With it, I'm able to get rid of that hum, so I decided to try. And, well, it sounds like I'm talking into a jar, but at least you can hear what I'm saying.
Well, there you have it, folks. My very first welding job. Tack the two corners on this side and weld it all the way across. I having a bit of a problem with the start. Now it's actually moving too quickly apparently. Going over it and going a lot slower. Quite a big weld on there. The issue I'm having is my glasses. And if I both see this close, I have to look to bottom lenses, and in order to do that I have to lift my head up, and the amount that I can actually see through this isn't very much. So basically right at the very bottom there's a little sliver that I can see. kind of got to the point where I had to hold the helmet in place, and he was one-handed, which really wasn't all that easy, but obviously I got it to work. So, only time I've ever welded in my life was in high school, grade 9 I believe it was. I was 14, 1981. So it's been a while. So feel free to tell me what I've done right, what I've done wrong, any tips. I won't be offended. I know I'm not, probably not doing everything the right way. So don't be nasty about it or anything. Like I said, this is technically my first time welding. I don't remember anything from way back in grade 9, so technically this would be my first again. So I think it worked. Penetrated into both pieces, so it's strong. Yeah, and with it all, so it looks good. I just gotta get the grinder out once this cools down. Keep the grinder out and grind it down and get rid of all the splatter. And put some paint on it. It's good to go. So I'm happy and impressed. Like I say, I've got a new one of these coming anyways, but I'm just using this for practice. And I now know I gotta move slower. A lot slower than I was originally. So I just kind of looking at it, was just kind of clumpy. So I went over it again and it was even more clumpy. So I went over it the third time really slow. That's the result. The solid weld all the way across. It's a little bumpy. Bulky. This would be a little bulky. I'll just take the grinder to it. I'll get rid of a lot of the excess. And we're good to go. And I can put it. And put it back on the monster. And then I get my basket again. Yay! I miss having the basket. The monster looks better without it, but the basket has a million and one uses for me. So, overall, I'm happy. I like the welder. I like the helmet. I just wish I'd noticed beforehand that I had to charge that up before I could use it. So I tried originally when I started with this side. Kind of rusty bare metal along the edge, so I kind of figured once I started welding up into the metal and everything was good, I had the clamp attached to this side, and it was only sticking to this one side, so I don't think the current was flowing through the other piece. So I got my Dremel out, and a little Sharpie tip, just kind of scraped off the paint. And that seemed to work. Zach wanted to try his hand at it. It's been a while since he's welded too. And it just didn't seem to want to work for him. So I scraped off some metal here. Make sure it's got a good ground, and that seems to work. And we'll work on this one after that. So I'll just kind of remember that for the future. Make sure I got good ground. Part of my learning curve. So make sure I got good ground and go nice and slow. I turn the wire speed up a little faster too. Everything seems to work out. So I'm happy. Let me know what you think. And I'll clean this up. I'm not going to do this today. My grinder is still apart. Power switch broke on it. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to put that yet or not. Power switch broke on it, so it's all apart. Zach's gonna let me use his is in the house. I'm gonna go get it. And then go upstairs and grab my box of discs. Really, I'm just not gonna do that today. So, I'm happy. The future looks good now, because I'm upstairs. ready to tackle the brain. And then I gotta figure out, I'm not even sure how this is all. There's that screwed in from behind. So I gotta lift the front of the monster up. I hope I don't have to take this whole front panel off. That would be good. Figure out how all this is attached. And figure out how to strengthen the bumper to keep it from bending forward. To keep this whole clip from bending forward every time I hit something with the bottom of the bumper. And then I'm going to put something across here. And overhead. I got stuff on top of my cord here. And the overhead light on the monster. I got two more of those. And that one on here. Right up the trail. Now I have the capability of doing that. So, I'm a happy person. Very happy. So, I guess I'm done for the day. Go inside and do some computer work now.
Hopefully you could hear what I was saying. I got kind of crazy towards the end there. So, I got my bench vise out. Got the basket mount mounted in it. Yeah, putting a grinding disc on sex grinder. Yeah, you get the weld all cleaned up. And it looked like there was pretty good penetration on both sides, both pieces, so grind off the excess and I'll see how it looks. So I have the bulk of it removed now, and I'm going to switch to a flap disc. If you don't know what a flap disc is, it's basically a whole bunch of sheets of sandpaper mounted to a disc, and it leaves a really super smooth finish on the metal, and does a really good job of making it look nice. So I'm going to kind of finish off with that and see how it looks. And here's a bit of a close-up, a nice shiny surface there. And I know it's not a professional looking job, but I think I did pretty good for my first ever job at welding. It looks like it's functional, that's the main thing. Nobody's really going to see it, especially once I get it painted up. And it'll look pretty nice. So, I'm happy. And being as I still have the flap disc on, I'm going to take off some of the excess paint. Some of it's peeling and there's actually a bit of rust on it now, so I'm going to get it all cleaned up and just paint the whole thing. A nice fresh coat of paint. Now I'm heading out to enjoy our last hot day of the year, and I'm not going to be able to stay out as long as I want to because there's a threat of rain and storms. Of course, right? So earlier today I got woke up by the scanner. Fire department are on a call out in Blythe. There's a shop fire out there, and they're a little too far away for me to really pick anything up. So I saved the file that I had, and now that I'm actually out on my scooter, I get the scanner with me, and I can actually hear them. So I'm thinking, oh good. At least, the computer is recording the other scanner at home, so I'll have a record of what they're talking about. I don't know exactly what's happening. I know they're worried about propane tanks, and at one point there was an ambulance that was called. It's sounding to me like 3 firefighters were injured. I'm not exactly sure, so I'll kind of figure that out when I'm at home, or when I get home, because I'm listening to the scanner. I got an earbud in one ear. I'm still using my Bluetooth glasses. They're only in one ear right now, and I got the other earbud kind of flipped up, and the earbud from the scanner in that ear. So, and aside from that, I'm getting all the traffic noise around me, everything outside. So I'm hearing 3 noise sources. It's really hard for me to discern between the 3 simultaneously. So I'll figure that out when I get home. So now I'm going to get to the crap storm. First thing I noticed when I started welding is my glasses are not adequate. I got my new glasses, I don't remember, it was last winter. I don't remember if it was last year or this year, but there was snow on the ground at that time, and I was driving the ES 950, so it was just before spring either way. So I'm thinking it was earlier this year, and they're good, they're great, they're perfect for driving because being bifocals I can see the road, street signs and everything perfectly, and when I look down at the speedometer I look through the other lens and I can see that, because my old glasses I couldn't do that with. I could not read the speedometer reading or any gauges on the dashboard at all. So these glasses kind of made up for the extra loss that my eyes have endured since my last pair of glasses. But when I'm sitting at my computer, I can't use them because the computer monitor is too far away for the higher magnification and too close for the lower magnification. So when I'm sitting on my computer, I have to use my old glasses. Now the issue is, when I'm welding, I have to look, in order to see things close up, I have to look through the bottom part of my lens. And in order to see through the visor on the welding helmet, I have to look up, or at least straight across. So the only way I could do it was to hold my head up so I can look down through the bottom part of my glasses, and then pull down on the front of the helmet so I can actually see through the visor. And I can't weld with one hand, that's not going to work. So I was really disappointed in that. It's going to make welding really, really difficult. Well, I got thinking, at Walmart Pharmacy they have a display with different glasses of different magnification values. And I got thinking, I wonder if the pharmacy here does, or one of the pharmacies, there's actually 2 here. So while I was out today I stopped in, and the highest magnification they had was it plus 3.75 I think, and I actually need something stronger than that, but that, just looking through those, it might work. So I bought a pair of those, so I get the full magnification on the entire lens. I don't have to lift my head up or down or sideways or anything, and it looks like that's gonna work. But that cost me another $33 that I couldn't afford. So, but at least I'll be able to weld now, so I'm happy with that. And I got home, and excuse me, right after I got home is when I finished off the basket mount, cleaned them up and painted them. And when I went in, my computer was off. So I'm thinking, okay, because while I was out, it rained pretty good, and I heard claps of thunder. We didn't get anything major. A lot of places around us did, but we didn't get anything major. But I did hear thunder several times. So I thinking maybe the power went off, because everything else is on. My monitor is still on. It's in standby, but it's on. Scanners are both lit up. My audio system is on. That's usually, aside from my computer, that's the next thing that shuts off when we have a power glitch. So everything else is on. Everything except for my computer. So I hit the power button and nothing's happening. And I'm trying to think, okay, I look down at the audio thing again, it's on. So I have a power strip. It's in two parts. One side is constant power, the other is programmable. And whenever I have a power going, I have to switch the mode so it's always on, instead of being on a timer, because it's either on, use the timer, or it's off. And whenever the power goes out, I have to always change the mode on it. And if it is off, then my audio system is off as well, because it's connected to that. So, okay, that's not the problem. So I'm trying again, and I got thinking, well, maybe it's the power supply on the computer that's gone. Because on laptops, you get the cord, and it's got the power supply right on the cord. My last computer had that, so I got thinking, okay, maybe that's what it is, because I do have one under my desk. And you know what? I have no idea what that's even for, now that I think of it. I'm sitting here looking at everything that I have, and I don't see anything here that would require having that power supply. I might have to check that out. So anyways, I determined that the power supply is actually built into my computer. It's just got a normal plug-in cord on it. So I'm trying again, holding the button down, power button, and as I'm pushing it, the scanner's reacting to it, and I'm hearing a thumping sound in my audio system. So there's definitely power in the computer. So I played with it for quite a while, and I just determined my computer's dead. I have no idea what happened. It happened while I was out. The problem is, I lost the second half of my scanner recording, so I never found out what happened. So I had to go searching for a news source. It turns out the firefighters didn't get injured. They suffered heat exhaustion or something like that. So I guess that's good news. Not really good news, but better than what it could have been. And they're blaming the hot day for it. Now, the weird thing is, it didn't get as hot as they anticipated it could. We only hit 26 degrees here, so it never quite reached 30. But somewhere, I would have to consult the videos, I don't remember. Somewhere they actually matched the hottest day record. So I don't think any places were actually hotter than the old records, whatever they were for those particular places. But like I say, to the south of us, it was a lot worse than here. They had higher temperatures, and they had some pretty wicked storms in some places. So I ended up going back out again. And the problem with living in a small town is you don't have a lot of choices. A computer, I can live without a lot of things. A computer, I cannot be without right now. It is my life. It's my entertainment. It's my news source. It's basically my job, if you want to put it that way, because I need to make videos for YouTube. I'm earning money off my videos on YouTube. Like $15 a month is not much, but it's the only income I have other than ODSP. And I need to be able to do that. Without my computer, I'd go insane really quickly. So two places in town where I can get a computer. First place, Micro Age. Apparently they don't deal with computers here. I never really asked if I could order one because I need one now anyways. So I ended up going to Healthy Computers. That's where I got my last one from. I bought a used one less than a year ago. So I really hate buying refurbished computers. I really do. For several years, that's all I used was refurbished ones. There was a place in Guelph I used to get them pretty cheap, but they don't seem to last very long. So the last computer I bought in Hanover was the first one that I had here, and it was brand new. My first brand new computer. It lasted a good amount of time. Made a lot of internal modifications to it and made it what I needed it to be. Always good. So when it failed, first, I don't remember how long we were here when it went, but I went down there and I got that used one. So back there, and they had two computers, or actually technically three. They had three computers, but the two that I could afford, or not even afford, but anyways, they had a used one and they had a new one. Now, the last used computer I bought, it looks like a DVD player. It's horizontal, it's really thin, it's like a big square. And they had another one of those, it was about half the size. Yeah, I don't like that idea. Or they had a normal desktop tower. So the difference between the two was about $100. The tower is a little bit faster, but it's $100 more. And I don't remember, there was something that no, I don't remember, but there was one thing that he said that this kind of made me sway my decision towards the tower anyway, so I ended up getting it. So there's another $630 that I couldn't afford. And the other thing is they don't do financing. I asked about it and he says, well, we do, but it has to stay here. And I think, well, that's not financing then, that's layaway. I need it now, so I had to buy it outright. So this may finally be what throws me over the edge into bankruptcy. I don't know, I'll find out in the next couple months. Because the welder I could handle, it was pre-planned. I had $100 worth of Canadian Tire money that I was saving specifically so I could get one of those, and that I could probably deal with, but this extra $600 added on is just going to be pretty rough. I'll find out, not this statement, but the next statement, just how bad it's going to affect me. But it just means I can't spend money on anything else for the next year. It's going to be a while. So we'll see what happens with that. And to make things worse, I have to all my programs back in. I took my C drive out. I was able to get all my files, hooked it up to an external, what the heck is it called? I don't know what it's called, but if you take an internal hard drive, you put it in this case and make it an external, that's what I did. I've got one of those. So I was able to transfer all my files. And the problem with the scanner files, it's all in those little, thousands of little pieces again, and I just wasn't going to deal with it. So I just kind of ignored those. So, working on it. Yeah, it's a couple days worth of work getting the computer all set up again, all my programs back in, and dealing with all the updates. And I'm sitting here, and I noticed my cooling fans didn't sound right. They weren't as loud as they normally are, and I look over, and the top one isn't spinning. It's just kind of quivering a bit. And I'm thinking, oh crap, what now? So I stuck my finger in, and gave it a spin, and it spun a little bit and stopped again. And I touched the center part where the motor is, and it was like super hot. So this was like 4:30 in the morning, I guess that'd be this morning. So I'm kind of glad that I was here when that happened, because that probably would have resulted in a fire. So I lost my cooling fan. I guess I can say thankfully the weather's going to cool down now. I won't need them until next summer. But, you know, it's just this time of year when everything starts going wrong. So I'm kind of afraid to drive the monster right now. Just in case. I cannot have anything happen to that. So I'm just going to spend a few days just doing whatever. Still working on putting everything together with the new computer. And dealing with what I need to deal with. Problem when I start working on the monster, I want to save the frame till last. So I'm gonna take a look at that front bumper and see what I can do with supporting it, and then put the light on. And I'm gonna do that first because the monster frame, if I determine I can't really do anything with it right now, I can always put the cover back on, put the seat back on, and the ropes. With the front bumper, I'm thinking I might have to take the whole front clip off. So once I start that project, I can't drive the monster until it's finished. Because, well, there's the lights and everything in that front panel are on plugs, so I can unplug those. But the wiring that I put in is not. So if I take the front clip off, then it's got to stay at least close to the monster because the wire's going through it. I won't be able to drive with it off. So I might actually start that first. Yeah, just get a little bit more experience before I actually tackle the frame, because the frame is kind of an important fix. So it has to be done right. So, what to do, right? But in time, we'll see what happens. So, what else to talk about here?
Attention North Huron, Wingham 5. This is an information page. Blythe is responding to smoke coming from a shop east of a residence at 38897 Blythe Road. Again, this is information page only for Wingham Fire. It's 9:50.
Fire dispatch, North Huron car 3. Page acknowledged for Blythe Station. Blythe Station respond engine 6, tank 8, tank 9, Wingham Station ladder 2, tank 4. Dispatch car 3 responding. While I was en route, I might have to drive one of these vehicles. Stand by. Looks like I'm driving a tanker at this point.
Dispatch, engine 1 responding, car 3 plus 2 belted.
Fire dispatch, North Huron tank 4 responding with 2.
Car 3, call Charlie.
Charlie, car 3, go ahead.
Car 3, we have 3 firefighters at the station. Do you want engine 1 to respond?
No, come in squad 5.
Roger that.